Let us see printing some output from a program, from the Java program. How to print? What are the different ways available in order to print? I'll continue from the same class. Go to the file new Java, class name H, system.out.println, hello world. Go for Control J after keeping cursor at line number 5. Now cursor is at line number 5. Go for Control J. Automatically you are getting one more line. This is the shortcut of Edit Plus. Now cursor is at line number 6. Control J. Any number of system.out.println statements. Try to save this as a h.java. In the same location, I am developing h.java inside a main method 3 system.out.println statements. You can also call like a SOP, system.out.println. You can consider as a SOP. Try to compile and run. You know already usage of -d option, -cp option. Go to the address bar, type cmd, press enter. Automatically command prompt is opening to the location wherever our h.java is available. Java C space -d h.java. Compilation is done. Please observe h.class developed in the classes folder. If you wanted, you can check it out in the classes folder. There is a h.class. Try to run. We can run from the src itself by using -cp option. Three times hello world is printing. Please observe, we got 4 lines of output. Everybody remember? We got 4 lines of output. This is one line, one more line, one more line, the last one more line which is a blank. We kept only 3 SOPs. We got 4 lines of output. How 4 lines of output? Please observe. While using println method, it is a combination of print and produce a new line. Println, it is a combination of print and produce a new line. While executing first SOP, it is printing hello world in the first line, then automatically going to the second line. Please observe, println is a combination of print and produce a new line. Hello world is printing in the first line, then automatically cursor going to the second line. Now cursor is in the second line, again SOP println. In the second line hello world is printing and going to the third line. Println, it is a combination of print and produce a new line. Now cursor is in the third line, third SOP. Print the hello world. Third line hello world is printing and going to the next line, fourth line. That fourth line is a blank line. Println is a combination of print and produce a new line. Come to the next program, same way, file new Java, class name I. Already we have seen different types of literals. Any literal we can print straight away. Literals are allowed to print straight away. Please observe, literal is nothing but a value. That values are results of the customer. You have to show that results to the customer. System.out.println introduced for printing any kind of literal. Any kind of literal. It can be int literal. It can be double literal. It can be char literal. It can be Boolean literal. Please observe, Boolean literal should not be under double quotes. Control J. It can be string literal. Already we have seen. Try to save it as a i.java. Any type of literal we can print. Any type of literal we can able to print. It can be int literal, double literal, char, boolean or string. Let us compile and run. i.java. Try to run. Please observe, any literal we can print by using SOP. System.out.println. It is a combination of print and produce a new line. Print and produce a new line. Println. Come to the next one. J class. There is another method in the system.out that is just to print. Remove ln. It's just to print. It is another built-in. Println is one built-in. Print is another built-in. You can go for Control J. Control J 3 times like our H class. Try to save as a j.java. Print method. Print method. Let's compile and run. J class. Only one line output. Not even a blank line. Print method. It is only for the printing purpose. One feature only. Print. Keep the cursor there itself. Cursor will be remains in the same line. Again print. Again print. Again print. One line of the output. Print method. Printing one line of the output. Let us see one more example. The same grounds print. Let us consider. I am printing 9, then 8, 7, till to 5. K.java. Print method. In the same line, keep printing from 9 to 5. Let's compile and run. K.java. Try to run. Print method is used only for printing. one feature only in the print, that is print feature. Whereas println, it is having a dual features. One is a print, second one is producing a new line as soon as printing is got over. Println is a combination of print and produce a new line. Print is only one feature, that is printing. After printing, cursor will be staying there itself. Cursor will be remains in the same line. It is not going to the next line. You can use combination of both print and println according to your requirement. If your requirement required multiple printing in the same line, then going to the next line, again multiple printing in the same line. Let us see one simple example. Class L. Print 1, 2, 3. Then go for one println. Observe everybody, guys. I'm selecting 4 lines. After selecting 4 lines, Control J. Whichever lines is selected, got those lines. Let us consider in the second line, I required 4, 5, 6. Try to save as a L.Java. Print 1 in the first line. Print 2 also in the first line. Print 3 also in the first line. Then print nothing. Go to the next line. Come on. Print nothing. Go to the next line. Now cursor is in the second line. Print 4 in the second line. Print 5 also in the second line. Print 6 also in the second line. Then print nothing in the second line. Go to the third line. Totally 3 lines of output. Now you can see the difference between print and println. Print is only with one feature, that is printing feature. Println containing 2 features. First one is a print, second one is producing new line. If you are not supplying anything to print, then it produces new line. Println containing dual features. Print and produce a new line. If you are not supplying anything to print, then it produces a new line. Come to the next one. M class. Already we have seen println without supplying anything. It is absolutely possible. So supplying something to the println is very optional. Why? Because it is having 2 features. First printing, then producing a new line. If you are not supplying anything to print, then it produces a new line. Please observe. M.Java syntactically correct. So optionally you can supply something. If you are supplying something, it prints that same something, then producing a new line. If at all you are not supplying anything, then it produces a new line. Totally 2 features are there, dual features, printing and producing a new line. First print, then produce a new line. If at all you are not supplying anything to print, at least it produces a new line. Let us compile and run. Simple hello world program. I am clearing the console through CLS. M.Java. You can see. In the first line, try to print something. Nothing is there. Then it went to second line. In the second line, you didn't print anything further. Totally 2 lines of output. Please observe. By default, cursor will start in the first line. You kept a SOP. It went to the first line. It tried to print something. Nothing is there to print. But it is a print ln. If it is a ln, it has to go to the next line. It is going to the next line. 2 blank lines you are getting. So print method, it prints only println method. It is trying to print if it is there. After printing, going to the next line. So here, println method trying to print something, but we are not supplying anything. Then producing a new line. So totally 2 lines of output we are getting. So please observe 2 lines of output. How 2 lines of output? By default it is starting in the first line. In the first line it is trying to print something, but you are not supplying anything to print. After printing is got over, it has to go to the next line. Println, it is going to the next line. 2 lines of output. Let's see same kind of program in case of print. This will be giving a compilation error. Please check it out. There is no print method without receiving any content. Why? Because print method is only for printing. You have to supply something to print. Whereas println, after printing, producing a new line, if you are not supplying anything to print, at least it can produce a new line. But in case of print, it is only one feature. That is print feature. You have to supply something to print. If you are not supplying something to print, you will get compile time error. This type of built-in method not available. There is a built-in method with a name as print that required one argument, that required one value. If you are not supplying a value, then you will be getting compile time error. The reason is very simple. Print is introduced only for the printing purpose. No more other features. It is only for the printing. You need to supply something to print. Whereas in the previous program, println, you are not supplying anything to print. Even though you are not supplying anything to print, it compiles and runs successfully. The reason is it is trying to produce a new line. It is having a dual feature, print and produce a new line. If you are not supplying anything to print, then it produces a new line. It is producing a new line. Yes or no? Compilation. This is success. If you go to the end.java, you will be getting compile time error. This type of built-in method not available. You will be getting one compilation error. You can see. You can also see like a no suitable method found for print. This type of built-in print method not available. Print method introduced only for printing purpose. You have to supply something to print. Whenever you are getting a compile time error like this, please go through the description properly. You can easily understand what kind of mistake you have done. One error. Whenever you are getting an error, class file will not be generating. Remember this point. Your Java file having a syntax error. Class file will not be generating. Check it out in the classes folder. There is no end dot class. You need to rectify whatever mistake you committed in the Java file. After modifying, then you can recompile. Whatever mistake we have done, we understood what is the mistake we have done. We are using a method which is not available. Meaningfully, this type of method not required. So print means only print. You are trying to use print without supplying anything to print. Meaningfully, it should not be. That is why we are getting a compile time error. Let us go for anything. It can be any literal. It can be any literal. Try to save. After modifying a Java file, most of the beginners forgetting to save. Try to save. Control yes. We modified Java file, we saved. Now try to compile. Again I will be typing CLS to clear. Recompile n.java. Now we are not getting error. Compilation success. Now check it out in the classes folder. N.class. Try to run. Compilation success, then you can able to run. Once compilation success, then only you can run. Let's go for running n class. You cannot use print method without supplying anything. One small observation. Whenever you modify Java file, EditPlus will be creating one backup file. We don't require this back file at all. So previous content move to the back file. So we don't require like a previous content moving to the back file, developing a back file. We can get back the previous content through Control Z. So we don't require this back file. It will be like a not organized way. Remove this back file. Tell to the EditPlus, don't develop the back file whenever I am modifying my Java file. Let us see how we can configure not to develop back file. Open EditPlus. Go to the Tools, Preferences. Tools and Preferences. Select a file. There is a file. You can see create a backup file when saving. There is a checkbox checked. Uncheck this checkbox. Please observe, create a backup file when saving. Uncheck it. Apply. Click OK. From now onwards, whenever you are modifying existing Java file, it won't generate a backup file. Click OK, apply and OK. Let me modify n.java. Control S. I modified n.java. Come to the src folder. There is no back file. For every modification of a Java file, back file will not be creating. By default, the checkbox is checked status. That is why. After modifying Java file, you need to recompile. Then only you need to run. Most of the beginners, after modifying Java file, straight away running. If you straight away run, you will be having previous version of the class file. Whatever new features incorporated in the Java file, that will not be moved into the class file, that should be moved. So because of that, you need to compile then run. For every modification, remember saving, Remember recompilation, then only run. If you are modifying an existing Java file, save it, recompile it and run it. So we have seen println and print. The differences of println and print. Println dual features, print only one feature. Println dual features, printing feature and producing a new line. Print method only one feature, that is print feature. The second difference, you can use println without supplying anything to print. We can use println without supplying anything to print. At the time, println producing a new line. We cannot use print method without supplying anything to print. We cannot use print method without supplying anything to print. These two are the differences between println method and print method. There is one more method, printf. You might have seen scanf in case of C++. Same type of method available in Java with a name as printf, but you cannot understand all the flags now itself. We will be covering printf while covering strings. While covering strings, I will be taking printf method. As of now, we'll go through only println and print. Printf method required additional knowledge like some kind of flags. You cannot understand all the flags today itself. That is why while covering strings, I will be taking printf. So now you can practice only println and print.